The statement said that while the government has made efforts to improve transparency and efficiency, investors face challenges such as a lack of clearly defined investment procedures, delays in resolving legal disputes, and incomplete implementation of anti-corruption reforms. U.S. investors should be aware of the potential risks and capitalize on areas where they hold a competitive advantage, it said. Ongoing monitoring of the investment climate is recommended, particularly as the government continues to improve transparency and efficiency reforms. No, that's the one piece where the newspaper lie, because the government ain't improving nothing. They put that thing in there, but that's there for entertainment purposes to bullskate somebody. You understand what I'm saying to you? But that's the foolishness that's going on in the country. You hear what I'm saying to you? And the report literally says that these political parties are engaging their political supporters, giving them contracts, supporting them. It talks about, and listen, the only thing they ain't say right out was nepotism, because they're giving the contracts to their family members and their friends and their lovers. It talks about these bribes, where they're doing these bribes of convenience for these jobs. It is a disaster in the Bahamas, and the U.S. knows, and more than likely they have proof of what they're saying. It's an entire disaster. We need to get it together in our country. And speaking of corruption, let's talk about this case that Lincoln Bain brought up. What does Justin E. Smith, a young man hired at the age of 21 years old, have on Fred Mitchell? What does Justin E. Smith have on Fred Mitchell? What is Justin E. Smith holding over Fred Mitchell's head? The Bahamian people need the answers to that question. They need to know, how is it that Justin E. Smith is able by himself to finagle the government out of some $200,000 in salaries and perks per year, more than what the politicians are making? And he's getting it through Fred Mitchell. What does Justin E. Smith have on Fred Mitchell? That he has all of this influence and is able to have access to all of this money. What does he have that warrants him getting more money than even the Prime Minister? What does he have? Because Justin E. Smith is doing pretty well for a 21-year-old young man who isn't even finished graduating college or university. He isn't finished graduating. But he has some hold on the Minister of National Security, and it is costing the Bahamians millions of dollars in traveling, in housing allowance, in school fees, in perks. Listen to this. Lincoln Bain read the letter today that was written to the Mortgage Corporation so that Justin E. Smith could get a loan from the Mortgage Corporation. Justin E. Smith is the second secretary to the British High Commissioner, whoever that is, in Britain or London or wherever. Justin E. Smith earns a salary of $57,500 a year. He started this job when he was 21 years old, and now we paying our police garbage, but we paying this young man $57,500 a year. We paying our Defense Force officers garbage, but we paying this young man at 21 years old with no training, nothing, $57,500 a year in salary alone. Let's see what that equates to. Let me bring my calculator up. Let me calculate it. Okay, there's my calculator. So if he's getting, scratch this, 57,500 divided by 52 equals, no, I did it wrong. Okay, I did it wrong. Hold on. Let's do this right. 57,500. Let's divided by 52. So he's getting $1,105 per week in salary from the government of the Bahamas. $1,105 per week, or $1,106 to round it off.